Well, hi, good morning, and thank you so much for joining me here in my shop. Today is November 9th, and I started working on the cabinet a little bit for this radio. I'm just going to show you quickly what I'm doing. So I discovered, as is very often the case, the wood here on the front of the radio is in actually very good shape. And so all I've done is just put some oil on it to revive it a bit. These surfaces that look so bad, these are all painted surfaces, and I'm on my way to repainting them. One issue here is the side. I think this is painted also, painted very dark brown, but it's kind of roughed up all through here. I don't know if I want to paint this or not. I haven't decided. So that's where that stands. I've taken the asbestos out of it, cleaned it up, all the dust and dirt that was inside of it. And I removed the dial plate from it. It's just held in with four screws, and cleaned it up. I haven't taken the glass out. I don't think I will. I think I'm going to leave it in this holder where it's nice and secure, and I won't do something terrible to it, like drop it. So, okay, now back to this radio. So it looks like B plus exists in the radio, and looks like all the tubes are good enough to operate, yet the radio doesn't respond at all to pretty much anything. So I think what I'd like to do is start kind of at the speaker end of things, the audio end of things, and just start working my way back stage by stage and see where the radio stops working. And maybe it doesn't even work. I mean, my very initial, very simple test of touching the grid on the output tube produced a pretty weak result in the speaker, just a bit of a hum. Probably the best place to inject an audio signal to start off with is right into the volume control. Same place the radio basically injects the audio. And that would be coming on this cable here. I see is connected to this plug. As I was saying before, it's going to rise up. You know, I am not convinced that the problem really isn't something very simple up with this arrangement here. This is carrying audio signals. These three wires, which are also going to the push buttons, these carry RF signals. So if we're concerned about the audio side of things, it's going to have more to do with, it won't have anything to do with these wires if they're in incorrectly. The volume control is down here. The tone control is a capacitor on the plate side of the detector tube. Thank you. Detector tube. So we should see a wire going from the volume control, making it this is coming from the radio. Well, if I inject a signal right in here, there's a capacitor that's tying the center slider of the volume control over to this tube, which is the SQ7 tube. So all I gotta do is actually just get right on here. No, wrong one, right on here. With an audio signal. Okay. Now, just to protect my equipment, I'm going to stick a fairly large capacitor. I'm going to go right on the grid of the triode part of the detector tube here. So we're going to feed into this an audio signal whose level I can control. It's going to come out of this signal generator here. When that time comes, we'll connect it to here. We'll have the level set low. Frequency set to something in the audio range. 300. Let's go just a little bit higher. Let's go a lot higher than that. So we got 3,000. That's because this is on the stop. 2,000. Oh, 1,300. Okay, 1,300 is a nice tone. We'll use that. And the level output is going to be low to start. These are attenuator buttons I'm pushing in. And this is the actual vernier amplitude control, so it's at 0. So we have no signal ready to go in. Good starting point. I'm going to stop for a minute, just check the manual on these push buttons and see if there isn't a hint. That's something I'm overlooking. So things are a little complicated with these radios when it comes to operating the push buttons. First of all, you can see there's 5 adjustments here, but there's 6 push buttons. There's one more push button than there are tuning spots. And the last push button is for turning on the input for your phono. That input is hidden way back here. They have a little note on it there. For phono television. So I'm going to try to feed a signal into that. To make that operate, I think I have to depress one push button up here. I think that's all it takes. The complication now is the band switch. There is a selection on the band switch called push button, or PB. One of the selections on the rotating band switch turns on or switches over to these push buttons. What about this audio side of it? I don't think it's related to that at all. So we're going to put in, take the output from the signal generator, we're going to put it in where the phono goes. Now the phono cartridges back in, at this time we're producing close to 1 volt of output. So that's what this radio will be looking for. My signal generator output is actually quite low. I think it will certainly do 1 volt. So we should be okay on this. And as for this back here, I'll just leave this hanging here for now. Will this thing react to a signal being put into the phono? That's the question. Okay, we'll power it up. Turn the volume down. Right now the output from the signal generator is probably 0 or very close to 0. So wouldn't be surprised if this thing can't reproduce anything yet. I'm just letting it warm up. Okay, and we're going to give it a little more voltage here. So it's running with about 95, 94 volts. That should be plenty to make it operate. We'll turn it up now. There's no sound. There's a nice hum coming out of there, so we know the speaker is functioning. Okay, we'll turn it back down. I did push the push button. I do have this connected. I have this plugged in back here. We should start hearing stuff. So I'm going to turn this up. I'm going to start turning this up. Not a thing. These are attenuator buttons here. Not a thing. Nothing. Here. Oh! That kind of jumped to life. Well, what exactly are we hearing? Is that coming out of the speaker? Yes. Let's turn down the frequency a little bit. Well, That's a pretty strong signal. Doing weird stuff. What's this tell us? Not sure. So I'm going to try feeding the signal into here now, and we'll see what it sounds like. I expected a high volume output from the thing we just did. I'm just getting a tiny little whisper, so that's saying something. Okay, and we're going to cut this down here. Nothing. Volume's up full. Very similar result. It's got that funny, almost like AVC is operating on it, but it shouldn't, I don't think. Extremely weak. Extremely weak at the output. To go on to the grid of the output tube itself and try it there. Okay, now to do that we got to figure out where the grid is. I'm going to peek at the diagram here, and the grid, just reminding myself, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pin number 5 on the 6F6. That's down here. Pin number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see a resistor on it as expected. Okay, that's got to be it. So we're going to want to put the signal in there. We're going to want to take it off of here. I can get to that. I'm going to turn the power off just because these things have a way of going places. And B plus is not far. Okay, that's good. Back on. There's no volume control now coming from the radio itself. The volume control will be from the signal generator. Okay. Go on. No volume control there. What am I doing? Okay, I heard it. Lots of volume there. So our problem lies somehow between the preamp tube and the output tube, because this sounds pretty good. This does sound pretty good. I think it's fine. Okay, problem between, so in other words, the signal's not making it to this tube. So we're going to go back one step. We're right on the grid. The grid is fed through a capacitor. And can you see which one it is? With certainty. There should be a capacitor connecting this tube to this tube so the audio can flow through it. There isn't one there. Obvious. Not an obvious one. Let me check something with the voltmeter here. I think I see the capacitor that's going to allow the audio to reach the output tube. I can't be sure. So I'm going to look for a low B plus on one side of it. That would be here. I don't see anything happening here at all. Should be a capacitor tied to the plate on this tube. Looking for the plate. I thought I checked for B. Maybe I didn't check for B plus on this tube. Well, that's interesting. There seems to be no B plus on this tube here. Let me double check this more closely. So B plus should be sitting on the filter capacitors. Let's check my meter. So there's the B plus voltage. And we found B plus down on the output tube, and we can hear it operating, and it seems to be working fine. Okay, let's check carefully now for B plus here. I'm going to go around again. That's grounded. Gone all the way around, there's no B plus on that tube. Well, that explains everything. Well, let's find out why that is. We need to look at the schematic and see how B plus is delivered to that tube. So we will do that. Okay, here's the schematic. The output tube is here, which seems to be working. And what we've done is we've discovered there seems to be no B plus on this tube. Let's zoom in a little bit. No B plus. B plus should be found here. It gets there through this resistor right near the tone switch. Well, it doesn't mean it's physically near the tone switch, but electrically it's connected to this end of the tone capacitor. So we should look for a 470K resistor attached to the capacitor related to the tone switch and see what's going on, because I bet you this guy, I bet you this guy is open, but maybe not. Let's go further. So from here, B plus is getting to the output tube. It's working. We can hear it. You can hear it in the background right now. So I know B plus is on this line. So really the only culprit is this resistor, or something we haven't figured yet. Short circuit in this capacitor. That's possible. Let's find this resistor and take a look at it. We'll read the voltage on either side of it. Let's find it in the diagram. This is R12. Find it in the diagram. R12. It's going to be right around here. Probably you've seen it already, and I haven't. R12. Hey, where'd you go? Well, it's hooked up to the tone capacitor. Let's follow the tone capacitor. Here's the tone capacitor. Oh my gosh. That didn't work. Let's try that again. Tone control. Let's go this way. That's grounded. This way we come across the tone capacitor. And on the other side of it should be a connection to a resistor. Did I say R15? Is that what I'm looking for? well, I forgot. Oh, for crying out loud. Isn't that crazy? R14. No. R12. 12. 10 megohms. R12. Well, I saw R12. No, I keep seeing C12 and I've got R in my head. Oh my gosh, this was only supposed to take a moment. Where are you hiding? Oh my gosh, R12 is missing. Well, that's why. That explains everything. Could it be way over here? What would he be doing way over here? Oh my gosh, I must be blind. This was supposed to make it easy to find in the radio. That was the idea of doing this. Well, for some reason I cannot spot it. Huh. Okay, well, let's look right in the radio for it. How do you like that? I'm still looking. Something wrong with my eyes. They just won't look in the right spot. Okay, that didn't help one bit. So R12 is the plate resistor for the plate circuit on this tube. And we will find the plate on that tube to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pin number 6 is the plate. No resistor marked on it. Pin number 6. Pin number 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So wire coming down to here. There's a resistor. Oh my gosh, is that it? So the idea is there's a resistor tied to this terminal. There's no resistor in the area. There's a wire going down to the socket down here. The socket you can see two resistors there, one kind of running vertically and one running horizontally. The horizontal one first of all, that's a crazy place to put resistors because it gets hot there. I mean, this is a hot spot to put a resistor. Okay, so we think what we will find, or what I should find, if everything's working right, we find B plus on both sides of this resistor, high on one side and much lower on the other. So we're going on one side here. Okay, my meter's not moving. Now we're going to go on the other side, which is right over here. The meter's going up. So we have a burned out resistor, but not surprising. I mean, they put it in an oven. That's why this radio is quiet. The resistor down under there is burned out. I'll give you a closer look now. See if we can actually see that it's burned out. That's not usually the situation, but well, then I shouldn't say that. Yeah, you can sometimes. Resistors will burn right into two pieces sometimes. Okay, so we're looking in here. Are you going to focus? Okay, well, we'll do it from back here. So we see two resistors, one vertical, one horizontal. This horizontal one is connected to this terminal, and then this wire here travels up and connects to the plate terminal of this tube. That's so. If you look at the resistor, can we not get any closer? It doesn't really appear to be burned out, but when I look with my eyes, it does look a little bit darkened. And this one right here should probably go too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to measure the resistance of that guy. My mind's in a couple of places at once here while I'm doing this. I've got something happening today which is preoccupying my mind. Okay, so one of them anyway, the one that I think is burned out, is a 500K. You're still looking at the wrong camera. Don't look at that. Look at this. Look at this. Okay. Hopefully no charge left in the radio. First, the one I think is burned out. You can see the meter's not reacting at all. Now this other one, it's in the circuit, so doing this kind of test is a little questionable. We get a reading of 500, whoops, 515. And I'm pretty sure that's a 470 there. If I just put a little more light on it. Yeah, that's a 470 also, so it's gone a little bit high. I think I'll probably change both of these resistors here. It's got a big high wattage one sitting right here too. What's that guy all about? Well, let me take a look at it. I'm going to clean this whole area up at once. So if I look at that guy there, who is he and what's he doing? So that one is sitting on the transformer end of the radio. Here we are. And it should be sitting right in here. Or, well, it could be this R13 here. Yep, you know, that's what it is. It's R13. So we'll try to find R13 up here. Maybe it's right next to R12. R14. R13. Here's R13. 390. Very nice. So this is on the cathode and it's bypassed here. So this is the cathode resistor. It should be 390 ohms. These resistors often go high because they work fairly hard to get hot. 390. So we'll measure that at 390 and see what we got. Okay, 390. So this is measuring 670, double what it's supposed to be. We look at the resistor itself and go, its color code is the body end dot method. So body is orange, so there's your 3, and, well, I don't know, white, there's your 9, 390, but it's reading 600, so it's got to go. It's got to go, that's got to go. Well, this capacitor is going to go too. That's all this stuff down in here is going to go. That's my job. I'm going to do all that off camera. I'm going to run in here and there and try to do it today while I have a chance, because I don't know if I'm going to even get it done or not. And then we'll see if that, for sure, if I do the one resistor, the radio will work again. That's what I think.